touch of your hand is like heaven, a heaven.
All right, how did I do for 2 minutes? I need a glass to tingle something. So, oh, thank you. Someone who's been at many events, certainly. So again, great pleasure to be the introductory speaker today. Dale Neely's my name, and I said I'm the chair of the event and a member of the board. And again, on behalf of all of the board, thank you very much for being here. So without much further ado, I think with the program in front of you, you'll see what we're going to do, have done, and will continue to do through the day. We have some excitement in the fact that the second race is dedicated to us, so we encourage you all to come and have a look, and the inductees will be going around the track in some cars and go to the winner's circle and a piper, all in celebration of great accomplishment in sport in Ontario. So certainly, as any of you know that have done any of this kind of thing, it's extraordinarily important to get support to put something like this together. This year, we've been very lucky to have a major name in the sports world, certainly in this city, to be our honorary chairman. And I'd in fact both thank and invite Mr. Tom Anselmi, the president and COO of Maple Leaf Sport and Entertainment, to come up and say hello. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Dale, and welcome everybody to the 2012 Ontario Sports Hall of Fame induction. I tell you, it's a real honor to be asked to be the honorary chairman of this event, because you have to think about the people that we're inducting today. Cassie Campbell, Lennox Lewis, Roger Atfield, Brian Orser, Tommy Burns, and our very own Andy Bathgate. So a real honor. We're also going to recognize world champion figure skater Patrick Chan with the Sil Apps Award, named after another great Leaf. So Patrick. World-class broadcaster Dave Hodge is going to win the Brian Williams Award. And all world hockey heroes and some real good friends of mine, Mr. Darryl Sittler, and somebody who's probably had the busiest week in the last week or so with 40th anniversary celebrations, Canada's treasure, Paul Henderson. So with that, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for all the support, and please have a terrific afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So one of the things that we do need to make sure everyone understands is that I'm also very sure you appreciate the athletes and sports folks that we are honoring have phenomenally busy schedules. And to that end, it is unfortunate that Cassie Campbell can't be here today. She had a commitment that she realized that was going to be in conflict with this, so she is in fact in Calgary. But just so you know, she substituted herself with her mother. So you'll get to hear from Cassie's mother in a few moments. And Mr. Lennox Lewis was going to be here, and got a wonderful opportunity for himself to actually go to Russia to work a boxing program for a whole series of camps for the Russian Youth Boxing Association equivalent. So he sends his sincere regrets, but it was an opportunity he couldn't turn down. So Lennox is not here today, and I think that's all of the folks that we're going to be, that other than Patrick Chan, sorry, is heavily into training, as Brian Orser would know this time of year getting ready. So unfortunately, he's not here. And of course, Paul Henderson is not here, but Brian McFarland will tell you a story about what happened last night relevant to Paul Henderson and the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame award that he earned and was given. Okay? So that's kind of some of the logistics. But anyway, thank you, Tom, for your support and for your kind words. I now would like to introduce Bruce Prentice. So Bruce, I think many of you have heard of or know or will. Bruce is the president and chairman of the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, its founder, and truly the most energetic and driven man I have met in my life. And it's my great, and by the way, some of it's good. Oh, sorry, Bruce. So it's my great pleasure to introduce him, and we were expecting Michael Power, the publisher of the Toronto Sun, who's also a great friend of the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, to join. Michael had something very suddenly come up, so I think Bruce is going to introduce himself and talk to himself. It will be a great, great piece of theater. Mr. Bruce Prentice. My dear friend.
My friend, thank you. Thank you. If you're looking to have a job done for you, there's an old saying, if you want something done, ask a busy man. Well, Dale, thank you. Dale's done an outstanding job for us the past 2 years, and I can't thank him enough.
Thank you.
Everybody has been asking for quite a while, quite a few years, where is this Hall of Fame? This is the only province, or was the only province, not to have a Sports Hall of Fame. But we have put it together. We have a Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. But the question comes up, where are you going to be? What is it going to look like? And very briefly, I won't bore you with a long dissertation, but when you look at a building, for example, where is a building going to be, and what problems do you run into with a building? What you do have is maintenance problems. You've got constant looking for artifacts, display building. So it becomes a problem with staffing and continual fundraising to look after a building. You can ask the Hockey Hall of Fame that question. You can ask the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. What we have done for this particular Hall of Fame, we have come up with something extremely unique. Nowhere else will you find what we are putting together. And what we have now is called the Monument of Greatness. That title comes from the fact that we are going to be honoring, and we are honoring, the greatest athletes probably that Canada has in this particular province. Has produced more great athletes than any other province in this country. So why not? Why wasn't there a Hall of Fame before? Well, there was a void somewhere. And looking at it years ago, I said to myself, why not put something together like this? Gathering people together that understood that this is the biggest province in the country. So now we have the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, and now we're going to talk about what we're going to look like. What we have on either side of the podium are illustrations of what we call the Monument of Greatness. It's very unique. And I have someone now that's going to help me, and no, I'm not going to talk myself. Mike Power is going to talk to me because he's a big booster of the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. But sitting here in the audience now, we have someone that has come forth, and he himself is a legend, and he knows sports, I guess, more than most people, because he talks all year about sports. So I'm going to bring somebody up who knows all about the Hall of Fame and the uniqueness that we have in the Monument of Greatness. Brian Williams, will you please come on up and help me?
We have the distinction of being the city and the province that blew Canada's Sports Hall of Fame and lost it to the city of Calgary. I travel extensively in this country. I've just written a letter of endorsement for a director to get into the BC Sports Hall of Fame. I've been to Manitoba, I've been to Regina. It is an absolute disgrace that the province of Ontario, the city of Toronto, have done absolutely nothing to honor the sports heritage in this province. And when you look at our history, you know, Vimy Ridge in the first half of the last century, but you go back to the last 50 or 60 years, many of the defining moments in this country's history, whether it be Team Canada 72, Joe Henderson is here with a family, Ben Johnson in Seoul, I can go on, many of the events, the defining events in our country's history have involved sport. We now will be making a push to the business community as these are tough economic times for the province. But what Bruce, and he's worked harder than anyone I've ever seen work on any project, has come up with, is the concept where the granite pillars would have the names of the inductees and the members, and it would be on Bremner between the Air Canada Centre and the Rogers Centre, so as people are walking to the baseball game, the football game, the hockey game, the basketball game, the rock and roll concert, wherever they're going, they would pass this structure. So we'll have, we hope, some major news in the next 6 or 7 months. We'll be leading a fight to visit various corporations, but I do think we're on the right track, and I would be remiss if I would not ask each and every one of you to say thank you to Bruce Prentice.
So it is exciting, and I have a couple banking customers here today, so I saw what you guys did last quarter, so we're looking for you. And we got some, yeah, so anyway, we'll get to all of that later, but start priming the pumps, folks, in the corporate world and in the personal world. Anyway, so Bruce, indeed, it's very exciting for us, and we've gone through lots of iterations and had lots of help getting as far as we are, and we are going to complete this project. So the next part, and we'll charge right into it, is I get to introduce somebody who's on the board and a friend and somebody who's quite capable of doing this job. And it's the moment I've been waiting for a long time, because those of you who have seen this guy, you know what I'm about to do, right? So you ready? Joe Tilley, coming up! Come on, big guy.
Hi, everybody. Brian, that was fantastic. Well said, and thank you so much. Thank you for your support. It's going to be great. It's great to have you on board, and great to have you, fighting the good fight for us. It's great. We got a great program for you folks, as we usually do, and it's great to see all the old athletes here. Thanks for coming, guys, and it's fantastic. We every year they come back. They reminisce, and we get the chance to reminisce with them and bring back some great memories. And we got a lot of former Hall of Famers here, and we just want to thank you all for coming. And please come back next year, too. As Dale mentioned, we're going to have this year's inductees are going to go to the winner's circle to present the trophy for the second race. So we want to get through this program as quickly as we can. The first award we have is for community service in the sporting community. And this award was named after, well, the greatest rider in Canadian history. He's a former world record holder for most wins in a season. He was the first rider to ever win 500 races in a single calendar year. He won the Queen's Plate 4 times. He's a member of the International Horse Racing Hall of Fame. He's a two-time winner of the Lou Marsh Award as Canada's Athlete of the Year. He's completely dedicated to community service. Anytime you want to call this guy to do anything in terms of charitable work at all, he's there. And he's a great guy. Always everyone called upon. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sandy Hawley Award, and here's Sandy Hawley.
Thank you very much, Joe. Everybody see me back there okay? Probably not. Anyways, it's my pleasure to introduce the 2012 Sandy Hawley Award to a gentleman I met back in the early 70s. His hair was flowing out of the back of his helmet, and my hair was flowing out of the back of my helmet. And I was going around in circles, and of course, Darrell Sittler was skating around the ice. Anyways, in the early 70s, Darrell and I went to a lot of banquets.